Well, kids are officially returning to school today, and that means school speed zones are now in effect. RCMP would like to remind everyone to keep an eye on the road and your speed.
We want to make sure that people are aware that the speed limit is 30 inside of school zones.
Police officers will be actively patrolling school zones and say it's not worth it to rush and potentially put children's lives at risk.
There's a lot of reasons why people might be speeding through a school zone, whether they have children or not, or they're just in a rush to get somewhere. We just want to remind them that the 30 seconds that you might save, if that even, is not worth the possibilities and the dangers that you pose inside of a school zone.
Kersinger says illegal parking in a school zone also increases the risk of an accident.
Make sure you pay attention and slow down to 30. Make sure you watch for kids poking out in between cars. Sometimes they don't use those crosswalks, so being slow will allow you extra time to stop.
School zones are in effect on both sides of the border in the morning from 8 to 9:30, over the lunch hour 11:30 to 1:30, and the afternoon from 3 to 4:30. Well, we have two more beautiful animals up for adoption in this week's pet project. Winnie is a dog with a lovely personality and a striking blue eye. Sally is a long-haired tortoiseshell cat looking for her forever home. Here's John from the SPCA.
The first thing you'll notice about Winnie is her striking blue eyes, but after spending a few minutes with her, it's her personality that will leave a lasting impression. Winnie is about as sweet and gentle a dog as you'll find. Within minutes of meeting you, she'll be rolled over on her back looking for belly rubs. When she's not soaking up all the attention, she'll be content just to lie at your feet and enjoy a nap. Winnie is such a gentle soul that deserves a special family that will fill her life with so much love and joy. If you think Winnie would be the perfect dog for you, don't delay, as we're sure that it won't take her long to find a new home. Sally may sound like an ordinary name, but this cat is anything but. Sally is a beautiful long-haired tortoiseshell with a big personality. When you walk by her kennel, she'll give you a quick tap on the arm to say hello. With a rub against the bars and a gentle purr, she'll melt your heart in an instant. Once out of her kennel, Sally is content just to curl up on your lap for some pets and a brush, and she'll thank you with a big purr and maybe a kiss or two. Sally is a gorgeous cat filled with love, now just needs someone to share it with. Be sure to visit the SPCA and meet Sally. We just know she'll steal your heart.
This is Newcap Sports.
After back-to-back wins against the Bobcats and the Battleford North Stars, the Pontiacs made the long trek to North Battleford to complete another home-and-home. It's been said the SJHL doesn't have the talent its AJHL sibling does, and the Pontiacs found out firsthand that's not the case. Lance Phillips with more.
An injection of veterans and a 5-2 win over the Battleford North Stars Sunday showed the Bonnyville Pontiacs will once again be a top team in the AJHL North. But a 3-hour trip to North Battleford Monday showed different results. The Stars pushed the pace and Pontiacs' bodies all night, ultimately winning a tough, hard-fought game 2-1.
North Battleford had us on our heels for most of the first period. First shift of the game, we're down 2 men, and it's a 5-on-3 situation. And we're trying to get ourselves in the groove. And really after the first period, it was, we're going to keep things simple, and we're going to make our life simple here.
Coming to this bar, and it's tough team to play against. They finished every check, and I think that was probably the frustrating part, was just our team couldn't get into the first 10 minutes. And but I thought going on into the second there, I think we really built off some momentum, and just our team kind of came together there.
The Stars were aggressive on all fronts, constantly forcing turnovers and relentlessly checking bodies. And it was the Pontiacs' reaction to that aggression that was pleasing to coaches and players.
Ultimately, as a group, as young as they were, definitely liked the response in the last 2 periods to show that regardless of what the outcome is, at least we know that teams have to work for everything that they get.
It was amazing to see. When I got up there and I seen Kirby in there, my eyes were like, wow, like this is what I like, and that's our culture in a nutshell right there. That explained everything. Is team mentality is team first here, and it was awesome to see.
After making 10 roster moves Friday, the Pontiacs are still with 30 players, a number that's expected to be reduced by 3 to 4 in the coming days. It means when Bonnyville returns to Lloydminster Friday, the Bobcats may be the first team to play a Pontiac squad with its 2017-2018 roster intact. Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, North Battleford.
With ACAC basketball just over a month away, teams like the Lakeland Rustlers are hard at work preparing. Lakeland women's teams is touting a full roster of players, and Lance Phillips caught up with the squad during its first full week of practice.
Excitement around Rustlers women's basketball is at an all-time high given the team's struggles last season. The group is bonding well off the court, but on the court, concerns still linger.
It has been 3 days of two-a-days, so I need to keep that in mind. There's some really good things today, but scoring definitely was not great on both sides. A lot of turnovers early on and not a lot of communication. So those are all things that are definitely fixable.
We just need to have some leadership on the floor, I believe. And once we get that leadership roles going and everyone knows their positions and everyone works at their positions, I feel like that will kind of get the momentum going for that train to go all the way.
Even with short-term question marks, the team's ceiling, according to King, is incredibly high.
I don't think these girls realize the potential this group has. As I mentioned, if they stay together, I could see them having a chance at a really strong regular season for the next couple of years. I don't know if it happens this year, but the talent level's there, position to position, and we can play big, we can play small, and we can have a lot of freak athletes on the floor, to be honest.
Everyone in here is ready to put in the work and be the best that they can be. And having that come in early on, I think is going to be beneficial for us in the long run.
And the long run for these players means one thing.
I think we can go all the way. Just coming in different years, I kind of just came in hoping, let's just see how it goes. But this year, coming in, I could just feel like the dynamic on the team, I feel like we can really take it all the way.
Lance Phillips, Newcap Sports, Lloydminster.
Long grass, an eyesore for any homeowner, and for golfers, it's literally the worst kind of grass. It usually means lost golf balls and frustrating extra strokes, but it doesn't have to. In this week's Tip from the Green, Lance Phillips and Ryan Vaughn show you to get out of the fescue and back on the fairway.
Another episode of Tips from the Green here at the Cold Lake Golf and Winter Club. I'm Lance Phillips. I'm joined by Ryan Vaughn, the head golf professional here in Cold Lake. Ryan, we've got a couple of balls in different lies here on the fairway. Well, not really the fairway, I guess, the rough. And this one in particular is fairly buried in the grass. Now, one thing that I know a lot of people struggle with is what club should they be pulling out of their bag to hit this type of a ball when you're, say, still another 180 yards from the green, let's say?
Yeah, so you want to, as a golfer, you want to always get the ball going as far as you can.
Right.
We're about 180 yards out from the green right now. So a lot of players are going to hit, a 5-iron,
okay,
a 4-iron, 6-iron, depending on their capabilities.
Yep.
But when you get the ball in the deep rough, a lot of guys are going to keep that distance and trying to hit that with a lower loft, right?
Guilty.
So my recommendation when you do find the deeper rough, just take your medicine as it lies.
Okay.
And, sometimes it's better to lay up to the 100-yard mark where you have a full shot in. So we're going to play this shot 80 yards, maybe a little bit more because you've got the pitching wedge.
Right.
Right. So, and the pitching wedge, the more loft, it's going to be able to strike the ball. You're going to get down on the ball a little bit better than the longer iron. So, again, if you're in a deeper lie, go to the more loft.
It just sets you up, I guess, instead of maybe putting yourself in a worse situation coming up, it sets you up to come into the green nicely.
Yeah, absolutely. You're playing for that next shot.
Sometimes, and some courses, they have some really deep stuff. They've got some deep fescue and that kind of thing. What do you suggest they do in those types of situations?
In the deep fescue, sometimes, just getting the ball moving forward and back on the fairway.
Okay.
And keep the ball moving forward is your best option.
So even just like a 20-yard
absolutely, strike. Yeah. If you swing and miss, it still counts as a stroke. So you're better to get the ball going 30, 40 yards forward and take that stroke, and then keep your pace up that way, instead of hacking and whacking away for 4 or 5 times in there.
How many people do you think mentally come up to those types of shots and actually really can defeat themselves mentally because they take quite a few whacks at it, as opposed to if they just approach it with okay, I'm stuck. Let's just get out there and make us a good second shot.
Yeah, a ton of people. You know, and scores climb quickly,
Right.
and you know, you have 2-3 bad holes, and just the mental side of the game is really where the, you know, back to the episode of what's in the bag is where the Tylenol kicks in, right?
Well, Ryan, thanks very much. I'm sure that will help myself and some other golfers get out of this deep grass, because as amateurs, we find that a lot.
All right, all the best.
More tips from the green next week with our head golf professional, Ryan Vaughn.